Hello viewers, welcome to your show, Aussiewood Hardtalk, brought to you by KoollifeTV. My name is Eileen Gaturu. Welcome everyone. Before we proceed, KoollifeTV would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Wajak people of Noongar Nation. We pay our respects to our elders, past, present and emerging. Today, we do have a special guest at KoollifeTV studios who recently won an award at the OAC Award Nights, and he is also the founder of Medinsure and is a key person of one of our big organizations in Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Daniel Pate to the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Exclusive at KoollifeTV.com.
How are you feeling today? How are you in general?
I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful day, beautiful weather, and just privileged to be here. Thank you so much for your wonderful invitation.
No worries at all. Feel at home, feel welcome. So tell us a bit more about who Daniel Pate is, where were you born, and how did you end up in Australia?
I was born 47 years ago.
Wow.
Yes, at the border of Kenya and Uganda.
Wow.
And I do share an ancestry of Kenya and Uganda. And
that's an
yes,
interesting fact.
I was schooled in Kenya, went through public education system, and later on I went to further my studies in South Africa. You remember the Mandela era?
Yes, yes.
And that gave me opportunity to have skills. And just slightly more than 10 years ago, I opted to migrate to Australia. I came in as a student, and here I am now as a citizen of this wonderful country and a dual citizen of my wonderful motherland, Kenya. So I'll say that has been my journey.
Wow, that's quite an interesting journey. And that's why I could tell you're Kenyan, of course, but I couldn't quite tell your accent. So you've lived in all these different places throughout your life.
Well, I'll say that after leaving Kenya, when I was in my early 20s, I had an opportunity to study in South Africa.
What did you study?
I did, my first degree was in diplomacy and international relations, and then I'm also a trained theologian from South Africa.
Wow.
And to cut the story short, I got a job to work in 6 African countries.
Wow.
And in those 6 African countries, I picked 4 languages. So I comfortably can be able to say that if I go to Rwanda, if I go to Southern Sudan, if I go to Congo, if I go to Malawi, if I go to Angola and Mozambique, I can be able to understand the dynamics that happen there. That was 10 years of my career in Africa before I moved to Australia.
That's good. So then, guys, we know we have a translator on speed dial. So that's good to know as well. So kindly tell us how you feel now that you've won the award. Like, that's a huge privilege from the OAC acknowledging all your credentials.
Well, I feel humbled by the Organization of African Communities to have nominated me as the African Champion Leader for 2023. This is an opportunity that I don't take it for granted. The West Australia African community is active, vibrant.
Yes.
And over the last 10 years, I've seen OAC grow. I respect the current and the past leadership for steering a very wonderful organization that is well respected, and we're just happy to be part of that organization. Thank you.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So tell us a bit more about Medinsure. I know you're very passionate about it. I'm also kind of slightly involved, but I always see what's happening behind the scenes and all the good stuff that you're doing there. So tell us a bit more.
Medinsure is an Australian registered charity with tax-deductible status to support vulnerable communities in Africa, specifically in healthcare. I'll say that it's my initiative, but I've never worked as alone. I've worked with team, and the board comprises of skilled African migrants that we came together and say, with our synergies, can we be able to make a difference back home? And so our pillars are four. The first pillar is that universal healthcare is important to us. And we know through the black tax what it means to be in the diaspora and remitting money. We also know the idea of paying bills after bills. And some of us have to take care of our parents, our siblings in healthcare. So universal healthcare is one of our pillars that we really want to work on and support. The other part has to do with what we call maendeleo. Maendeleo is loosely translated as development. That you do not teach people, you need to teach society how to fish and not provide fish.
I love that proverb.
And that means we have to be able to go on ground and find lasting solutions of increasing the quality of life of our people through development, through what we call sustainable programs. And by this, I'll say that after working for 10 years in active humanitarian service, I have seen diabolic mistakes. I've also seen wonderful success stories. So I bring on the table that advantage that I understand the demographics back home, and I know what will work for our people. The other people,
before you proceed to the next pillar, and that's a very interesting fact, because I've also been a bit involved in humanitarian work, and foreign aid, as good as it is in the short term, it is not a lasting solution. So we definitely need, rather than giving people fish to eat, metaphorically speaking, definitely that's a really good point there, that you teach them how to fish.
Or you can say that again. And I really honor the men and women who live below $5, and they do not beg. They have their integrity. They are just doing their best. And having worked across Sub-Sahara, I'll say that there are millions of us. Remember, we are almost getting to the 1 billion mark. And there's a stereotype that goes out there that Africans are either not able to produce for themselves. There are pockets of Africa that have enjoyed sustainable peace. They have been able to produce for themselves. And even in the toughest climatical change, we can see that Africans are resilient. They are giving their best. All they need is to work together, creating alliances, not looking at it from bottom-down approach.
And so what's the next pillar?
The third pillar has to do with what we call the national health insurance. It is important for Africans to pay for health insurance. It is important to find a way. For instance, a classic example is in Kenya. 5 million Kenyans out of a population of 50 million Kenyans have national health insurance. It costs $10 a month for a whole family to be covered. Only 40% of African countries are where Kenya is. So we want to pull this dialogue. How can we be able to, as an individuals, to increase health coverage, health insurance? Universal health care will be a question of each one contributing in a small way to ensure that each member of the community, especially the most vulnerable, they are covered. So $10 can translate into an equivalent of Medicare in Kenya.
That's a good idea.
Just think about that. $10 a month gives somebody universal health care. Why are we emphasizing on universal health care and health coverage? It is because we have been victims of black tax. by black tax, I mean people go out there, they are working so hard, their parents have disease, they have to do cash-based, out-of-pocket expenses are hurting. I'll give a very good example. Some years ago, my dad had medical conditions, and so I bought a cover that was X amount. That cover reduced pressure on me, knowing that dad's health had been supported. The same to some of the age mates I grew up with. Remember, every African in the diaspora knows we are very fortunate. The people we grew up with do not have the similar opportunities. And so I give hand to some of them, the people I've grown up with, to ensure that they are not left out. And so Medinsure is there to understand the dynamics. We are there to support. We are there to ensure that we create bridges. And most important, to create alliances. The final pillar is the most brilliant. We call it the volunteer program, knowledge transfer. We have thousands of us with incredible knowledge. And I'm really not talking of knowledge in healthcare. I'm talking of universal skills. There are many Africans who are so good in tech. They are so good in whichever trade and passion they have. How do we get to transfer in a more sustainable way those skills back there? So Medinsure will create opportunity for volunteers, especially from Africa in the diaspora to Africa. My emphasis is everybody else is welcomed, but my target market will be Ubuntu, an African to another African. And then we lead by example. And the rest of the world will cheer us. The rest of the world, we will attract the rest of the world to come and support us. So gone are the days actually where things have to be told what to do. Africa has enough skills. We will lead by example. And of course, there's a stereotype of corruption. There's a stereotype that tells us that, oh my goodness, there's no hope in Africa. I think I'm a very optimistic person. I have seen personally, I have living experience.
Exclusive at KoollifeTV.com.
Eileen, I was part of the humanitarian workers that worked in Rwanda. When I went to Rwanda many years ago, close to 20 years ago, it was a situation of the leadership and everybody else pulling together. I visit Rwanda. I have very special attachment with Rwanda. Now, I have seen incredible growth. I have seen Rwanda coming from a country that faced genocide to a country that is full of very talented, very clean city, people with opportunities and spreading their love to their neighbors.
And I'm seeing them really flourish. Definitely. People are even moving from other countries to Rwanda.
I'll say in Kinyarwanda, Morokoze chane chane, meaning thank you very much on their behalf of their people. Yes, we are one. We need to celebrate those success stories. I have seen Southern Sudanese, whom I supported 20 years ago. Guess what? Many of them did not have elementary reading skills that I worked with. And right now they have master's degrees overseas. Many of us who have journeyed with Africans, there's something so beautiful about us. All we need to do is to bring all of us together and celebrate. I do have a classic example of a gentleman that told me they were in a feeding camp that I was involved in Jonglei State. And they still remember there was a Kenyan by the name Danny, and he said, and came and told me, were you one of the people that happened to work in Jonglei State
What?
16 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow. And this is the journey we meet in Australia.
Yes.
So now you understand why I'm so passionate about Medinsure.
Yes, definitely. And see, what you're doing has a ripple effect. And then the ripple comes back to you. So that's awesome.
And I also wish to acknowledge you. We have met, I know you're a philanthropist, and yes, I will not go without having to appreciate you. We met.
Yes.
And you became a volunteer for Medinsure after meeting because you bought into the idea. You are passionate about it. You are a very shrewd, skilled person in your own right and a leader. And I think it's just a question of everybody coming together with that commonality of how lucky are we to be in a lucky country, and we can be able to transfer, we can be able to support, we can be able to fix. We know the dynamics of Africa.
Yes.
We are the children of Africa. We just need to rise and do exploits.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
And I think that's a challenge to everyone watching, how we can chip in, buy into any ideas that you have, any dreams, as Lupita Nyong'o said, all dreams are valid.
Oh, thank you.
And just go for it. If you see your community, especially those in the diaspora, for us it's KCWA and OAC. If you see your community and anything that you're involved in, just get into it, volunteer. You don't have to be in a big role. Just volunteer, help out, and then also see what you can do back home, because this is Medinsure. It sounds so amazing.
Thank you.
So we're just gonna go on a short break, and we'll be back shortly. Don't move. Just watch a few ads, and then we'll be back.
What's going on with my car?
Danny is a baby, not a man.
I'll tell her that.
Hey, respect the love of my life.
I can't even open my bonnet.
Maybe it's a traffic jam.
What traffic jam?
Okay, I'll do U-turn now to come and pick you up.
Love is a scam.
I'm
Trust me.
beginning to think so too.
Where's she from?
South Sudan.
What?
And you still?
Family, we just wanted to tell your family sorry.
Wait. Is that not that?
Welcome back, viewers, to KoollifeTV Hard Talks, and we have Daniel Pate with us. So we're gonna go ask more personal questions because we're curious about you. So we want to know, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is baby pink.
Baby pink.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes, I am a blog who loves baby pink.
Yeah.
It has a soft touch.
Yeah.
And it also kind of makes me feel like when everything else has become tough on me, I will go on to a softer. So I think I picked
really
baby
good.
pink from my mother.
Yeah, okay.
And so I grew up knowing that baby pink is a beautiful color. So it became my favorite color.
So it's also sentimental.
It's
to you.
very sentimental.
Yeah, okay. That's a nice one.
Thank you.
Who is your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian, I'll say that there are many comedians that...
You have to pick one.
If I'm to pick one,
yes,
then
please.
I will honor
Yeah.
my generation in Kenya.
That's fine.
And give it to Churchill for
Churchill
his
is
character,
fire.
for his character,
He's fire.
his resilience, and his 20 years of entertainment. He's actually literally entertained me for 20 years.
Wow. Our age is showing. So, best favorite food?
It has to be something that comes from the coastal parts of Kenya.
Okay.
You're talking of pilau,
Oh,
biryani,
Yeah.
you know, all those beautiful things.
Yes.
The rice, the mahamri, the beautiful stew that is boneless. Oh,
Yes.
yes. That you just need to visit Kenya,
Wet
Mombasa, wet fry,
Oh my gosh,
sukuma wiki. You know, thank you.
Nice. Those are good choices. I'm not gonna complain about those. Favorite drink?
Favorite drink? Wow, that's a good one. I think I like my sweet red wine.
Okay.
And in this particular case, I have a special touch for South African and Australian wine.
Try South Australia. I have a bias.
Oh, Barossa Valley.
Barossa Valley.
Yes,
There you
yes.
go.
I will not promote any brand.
No,
and
Barossa
for when,
Valley.
yes, I know somewhere
Yes.
in also West Australia, the
Yes.
Swan Valley.
Okay.
There is one
Yeah.
particular wine. Whoops, it's a red wine.
Yes.
And I cannot promote the brand,
No.
but you need to talk to me. I discovered it. It's amazing.
We'll talk aside. Favorite music?
Favorite music? Gospel. Worship.
Yes.
Gospel worship.
Any musician?
Yes, Sissy Wainers.
Yeah.
She's just done over 30 years of worship,
Yeah.
and particularly the goodness of God.
Oh, I love her version of it.
That version where she now narrates her journey with her family.
Yes.
And for me, who grew up in the 90s, where I bought my first CD was Sissy Wainers.
Winans, okay.
And guess what? I bought it in Nairobi
Oh, there
for
you go.
a lot of money by then. I actually had to save.
Yeah.
And guess what? Along the way, it got scratched.
Oh, no.
Another story for another day. But I've got her collection now on Spotify. I've got her collection
there you go.
online.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Exclusive at KoollifeTV.com.
What is your favorite car?
My favorite car has to be a Toyota Land Cruiser. I drove a Toyota Land Cruiser from South Africa to Southern Sudan.
Wow.
I
That's
drove
big
lot.
journey.
I drove Toyota Land Cruisers in and past rivers, and so in this particular case, I'll promote that brand. It
Toyota,
served me.
we're
Yes,
waiting to hear
yes,
from
yes,
you.
yes.
What's your favorite fruits? All the fruits.
No. There has to be mango, and out of the 17 varieties,
Yes.
there is one
Yeah.
in Kenya.
Yes.
From Koollife. It has the best fruit. I'm told there's one in India.
Yeah.
And guess what? There's an Australian mango from Kananara.
From Kananara?
Yes, it's that huge.
Yeah, okay.
And when it's in season, I've been to Kananara. You know one thing? It's the fruit of the God.
So if it's to go for Kananara, it's for mangoes.
Oh, Kananara. Yes, the mangoes from Kananara. Bananas and the rest,
Yes.
they come after the mango.
Number 2, mango is 1. You had that here, guys. What's your favorite movie?
I'll say there's The State Within.
The State Within. What's up? But I don't think I've watched it.
If you want to see how the UK promotes its national intelligence
Yes.
and they penetrate America, and the movie goes on,
Wow.
that
That's
indeed they are
intriguing.
the state within. Yes, that's a very beautiful movie to watch.
okay.
And yes,
We'll look into that one. And what's your favorite book? And also, what are you reading right now? What's your favorite book and what are you reading?
my favorite book will be the Holy Bible.
Yes.
And currently I'm reading Judges, the Old
It's a
Testament.
very in-depth one, Judges.
Yes, I'm reading Judges,
Yeah.
and I'm looking at how privileged we are that the scripture is all about. They're talking about punitive measures that were done then,
Yes.
and we are living now in the dispensation of grace. So I try to create that and understand the tensions there in the Eastern context of the Bible.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's what I'm reading at the moment.
Let's talk about tech. So, which one do you prefer, Apple or Android?
Android.
Android. And you see now the latest iPhone has come with Type-C. Watch this space. Apple or computer, Microsoft?
Microsoft.
SUV or sports cars?
SUV.
SUV. Yeah, that's good. Electric cars or petroleum cars?
Well, petroleum.
Self-driving cars or auto self-driving cars?
Auto self-driving.
Auto or manual for
Auto.
cars?
Auto.
Traveling by sea or plane? Which one do you prefer?
By plane.
Yeah, it's so much comfortable. All right, we're gonna play an IQ game real quick. So, your name's Daniel.
Yes, please.
Spell your name in reverse. With 5 seconds, no pausing. No pausing. You can pause.
L.
You paused.
I. A. D.
You skipped N and you
Oh.
paused.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you failed. But next time, at least you know, we'll give you practice time.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel, for coming to Aussiewood Hardtalks. I hope the topics were not too hot for you because you're in the hot seat. We do hope to see you again. Any words of advice for the Koollife TV audience?
Well, I need first to acknowledge and appreciate Koollife TV for your amazing job. I follow you. I believe in your brand. I believe in the amazing job that you're doing with your producers. And for you, Eileen, thank you so much for being an inspiration. I am raising girl child, and I'm a product of my wonderful, strong women. And it's people like you that inspire me in many ways. So thank you.
Thank you.
Exclusive at KoollifeTV.com.
So we have a token gift for you
Amazing.
for
Thank you.
attending and
Wow.
being very present and very lively.
Thank you.
And one of them is a cup called Be Kind to Others. The other one is Happiness is Free.
Thank
I
you.
hope that does apply to you. It
Yes.
sounds like it does.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a website,
Okay.
medinsure.com.au. I also wish to encourage anyone who interacts with the Kenyan community. I think majority of the Kenyans familiar with who I am.
Yes.
And just to say that at the end of the day, I'm just doing my piece, and all of us, if we pull together in the spirit of Ubuntu, we will always be able to do exploits. And so thank you so much for those ones who have been very kind in supporting us, and thank you so much for Koollife TV for the privilege. What a great honor.
Yes. Hello viewers, we've now come to the end of the show. If you want to promote your business at an affordable price, get in touch with Koollife on Koollife TV or Aussiewood Movies. And do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Eileen Gaturu from Aussiewood Hardtalks. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Exclusive at KoollifeTV.com.